What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Section Leader Playbook. My name is Kyle Karam, and I'm the founder and coach of the Section Leader Playbook. This is our first webinar that we ever hosted, and this is sort of a webinar recap. Thank you to everybody who came out. We had some great conversations with some amazing music educators and just got to talk to them a little bit about some of the inherent issues and specific things that people are facing when it comes to facilitating a student-led sectional program, and that's what we're here to help with. So quickly about me, I am in my 14th year of teaching in this currently in the state of Indiana. I have my bachelor's of music in music education, choral general emphasis from Western Michigan University, go Broncos, and I have my master's of music in music education from Ball State University, where I also was lucky enough to earn a curriculum cognate. So all those things combined, the cognates, my two music ed degrees, and the time I've spent in the classroom have really helped me develop something really cool here, and I can't wait to share it with you. So I've also been, of course, a section leader in many areas. I've been a section leader in 6 or 7 different organizations, and so with that comes a lot of like real world insight. So in high school, I was section leader in both band and choir. In college, I spent a lot of time and had a lot of responsibilities there in band and choir as well, and then got out after graduating with my undergrad, got out and did some semi-professional and community ensembles, and so I also served as a section leader in some of those as well. So but even with all that experience, I think back to my very first experience as a section leader, and I was a sophomore in high school and was working in large ensemble, and then my director, who's a good friend after all these years, is still a really good friend of mine. So this is all good. But he said, "Hey Kyle, I need to work with the sopranos, altos, and basses for a little bit. Go take the tenors." And work and do a sectional. And I was really excited because I was waiting to kind of like really, I was ready to serve, and I was excited to show him sort of what I got. And then all of a sudden, we start walking down the hall, and that excitement quickly turned into fear. I was really worried because I was like, I don't like, oh my gosh, what am I in for? And I was like, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. Sat down at the piano, and then I realized I don't know what I'm doing. I'm 15 years old, and I'm going, sorry guys. And before you know it, even though I'm at the piano and we're trying to run a sectional, I got Johnny over here, fake name. He opens the color guard cabinets and starts spinning some of the color guard equipment around, and Jimmy, another fake name, he just went off to the bathroom for 15 minutes, and I was like, that fear was sort of realized, and I was really frustrated by it. And so that was sort of the start of this program, and I didn't know it then, but I now realize, looking back probably 22, 23 years later, that I don't want that feeling for anyone. I want to help alleviate those concerns and those frustrations and help students really amplify and enhance their leadership in a sectional setting. And so if I can offer some insights and some research and some curriculum that will prevent those things to start and then also enhance and make those things much better, that's what we're here for. We're here to help. We're on a mission. So the problem is, and this is kind of what happened with me. It was what I call rote learned leadership. And so, we talk a lot about in the music ed field, music literacy, reading the notes on the page. And so obviously there's a lot of great research and a lot of great methods now, but there's not the same thing for leadership. We just kind of, the way I'm teaching it is the way I would hope that you would lead it, or I would hope that you have some tools in the toolbox already. And that's just not the case for a lot of students. So many of these areas sort of go unaddressed. And it kind of goes into this like pass and pray method, where I'm going to pass the responsibilities off to a teenager, or maybe you're in college, and to a 20-something-year-old, and I'm going to pray that it gets the same results than if I were in there for 15 minutes with that group or 10 minutes with that group. So right now, there's of course a lot of research in leadership, and there's a lot of research in music education, and I'm looking to perform some research in the combined areas of the interdisciplinary area of music education leadership and like student leadership. So let me ask you this. What have you experienced in sectionals? And what areas would you like to see improved in your rehearsals? Maybe you're a teacher watching this and you're like, I need help in this thing or that thing. Or I need help facilitating these things instead of just passing and praying, right? So or maybe you're a student and you had a sectional the other day and you went, this isn't it. This didn't help. So this is where we can help. We have developed a student-centered program that we are constantly trying to iterate with new data and research, but we're also using some of our real-world insights. 14 years in the classroom, 6 different positions as a section leader. I'm really trying to pull everything I can here, pull out all the stops, if I can use a musical reference, pull out of the stops to help equip you to lead with confidence and clarity in your section leadership. We have a bunch of tools and a bunch of materials that we are going to provide for you. That's in fact some of the things that we're doing. And we're also working in the educational best practices and different educational concepts. So we're here to help you enforce your student leadership training and introduce section leaders to new practices. A lot of times they don't even know what they're listening for. And if they know what they're listening for, they don't have tools to fix it. And this is where we hope to chime in. So our sub-motto or subtitle is people, process, and performance. And those are the 3 areas, and in that order of importance, that we like to work with our section leaders. So with people, we're going to work with connections. We're going to work with self-reflection, connections with others, and building a community within each section. We're going to work for process. We're going to work on rehearsal preparations. We're going to work on musical systems, how to use the current musical systems that the director has assigned. And then musical fixes. How are we using, or what tools in our toolbox can we take out and just use in a rehearsal setting? Section leaders don't have the same amount of tools by a long shot that directors have. So I want to give them a little bit of that in this program. And then of course, performance, we are always keeping one eye on performance. We have foundations, which is pitch, rhythm, and technique, and then also detail work like musicality, and then assessment. How do we listen to a group and assess their performance of a section or of an entire song, and then use those practices either to improve to improve the music for an upcoming concert, or use those concepts to improve in general for all our upcoming concerts. So we have 3 major components of the program as of right now. We have looking to add, but these are the 3 we've got for sure. So we have an asynchronous curriculum. And if you are looking at the full curriculum, the full year curriculum, it totals to 64 lessons. If you're looking at a half year curriculum, you are looking at 32 lessons, of course. And then we have preparation and in rehearsal tools. We will sprinkle those in. There's a couple on our website under free resources that you can find, like our exit ticket. We find that's really important. And a progress chart where directors can sort of map out the structure of a song and section leaders can use it to track. Check out sectionleaderplaybook.com/free resources to find that. Then we also have some regular town halls about every other week. We meet as a collective. We've already got a few schools involved, few programs involved in that. So that would be like a come all, and we just talk strategies, we talk wins, and we build a community of section leaders, because sometimes they feel like they're out on an island. So again, the asynchronous curriculum, we also can customize things. We can personalize some of those solutions. Some of our lessons include, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, but roles and responsibilities, leadership qualities, creating buy-in, rehearsal techniques, error detection strategies, musical fixes. So in our rubric, we use a performance rubric of 4 major categories: pitch, rhythm, musicality, and technique. And then we have conflict resolution, recruitment season. So using your section leaders as some of the best people to recruit for your program for future years, and many, many more. These are just some of the things that we have found really help and we want to provide to our section leaders. So I kind of mentioned these before, but we have lots of tools that we're working with. like leadership self-assessments. We have solutions cards or a solution sheet that students work with, and an ensemble rubric to tie everything all together. Regular town halls, like I said, they are bi-weekly, and we are bringing everybody together. This is a full meeting for section leaders, parents, directors, and everything. Just so that way it's like a big community of people. We're looking forward to that. Then after we have the full meeting, we will have a directors only breakout where the directors can talk about certain things. So next steps with the program, we are offering this program on sort of a continual basis, but we like to bring in schools for starting in September. But if it's say October, you can still hop on in. We still give you at least 4 months for the program, and so we're looking at a September kind of start date, and then for the full year and for the fall semester. So right now, the full year program, modules 1 through 4 and 20 town hall meetings, that right now is $275 per student, or if you get the program pack, which is recommended for like 7 or more section leaders, we recommend that is $1,800 for the program pack. That's for the full year. For a single semester, it's of course modules 1 and 2 with 10 town hall meetings. That's $150 per student, or for the program pack, a rounded $1K for the whole program for single semester. However, because you're listening to this webinar, we are offering now a 50% off code, webinar 25. This is just to help kind of cover the basic costs of running this program. There are things that are kind of falling on my plate right now as far as all that, and I just, in order to make sure that I can maintain this and get it out to as many people as possible, that's what we're doing. So a 50% off discount code, webinar 25 at checkout, and of course we take school checks and we take school purchase orders. So if you have that ability, this is an easy way to do that. And of course, as soon as I receive the form on the website, sectionleaderplaybook.com/join us, that you can plug in the discount code and your information, and I will get an invoice to you, but you can start immediately. As soon as I get that, I will set you up. Okay. But again, this is more about, we're on a mission to help people. We're looking forward to working with some people. So now, if you have any questions about anything, the best way to reach me is my Gmail account, which is musicedplaybook@gmail.com. Again, that's musicedplaybook@gmail.com. And so that's kind of an umbrella email address there. So y'all, I really appreciate you guys coming by, and just kind of as a send-off, most of the time when ensemble music teachers try to use student-led sectionals, they send their section leaders into rehearsals with no training or little training and little guidance. Instead, what I've discovered is that programs like our Section Leader Playbook need to be in place in order to create a more effective rehearsal. I have a unique curriculum that allows you to address these issues and address these knowledge gaps, these skill gaps, to then better your performances. That's what this is about. Building leaders and bettering performances. So that's what I got. I look forward to hearing from everybody. I will drop some links in the description below, including my Calendly, which if you want to book a one-on-one appointment, I'll also drop that discount code, webinar 25, and we will see y'all later. Ready? Break.